is going on? Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Let's talk cash, gold, whatever you want to call it. You always need it, but you might not actually be that good at making it. I'm going to share with you all my top 3 farming spots in Conquest of Azeroth right now. If you find this helpful, consider liking the video and subscribing below. It helps the channel grow a lot and lets me know you want more of these types of videos. So you may have noticed I am all about Conquest of Azeroth right now. Area 52 and Alar are still going strong, but I just can't pull myself away from this alpha. If anyone here has started playing it after watching some of my videos or seeing the announcement trailer on the Project Ascension Discord, you may be struggling for gold to buy those experience potions for leveling or buying some of that really good gear from the auction house. These spots are guaranteed to stuff your bags full of stuff to help fund your other characters and prepare yourself for buying new gear and enchants as we get closer and closer to the release of Phase 3. With all of these spots, I suggest farming exclusively in high-risk mode as it will give you access to dropping some very valuable dungeon gear. Some of the best in-slot pieces can range from 10 to 50 gold depending on the item, so don't pass up on that chance. You won't lose any gear for being in high risk on the alpha, so it's literally free gold. I've been able to net 80 plus gold on average on the low end, easily breaking 100 gold per hour depending on the day, so spending just a few hours a week, you will have all the gold you can want in no time. Spot number 1, the Yeti Caves in Hillsbrad Foothills. This is the easiest to access and probably one of the smoothest places to farm currently for gold. All the mobs are level 30 plus, so if you're farming on high risk, which I do suggest, your chance to find higher level dungeon gear goes up a lot. I've been able to find some very valuable rares like the Embalmed Shroud and Death Speaker Mantle, which depending on the day can net you anywhere from 5 to 45 gold on the auction house. Since they're humanoids, they tend to drop a lot of gray and green items that add up to a ton of gold very quickly. There is potential for ore to spawn in this cave, so if you are a miner as well, you might be able to net yourself a little extra cash by snagging those while farming here as well. The only downside is that since it is so easily accessible, there tends to be competition here, but if you can get it all by yourself, it's a very laid-back place to be. Either Horde or Alliance has access to this spot, and the towns for each faction are really close by, so vendoring and mailing off valuable pieces to your bank alts is super simple here. Spot number 2, the Shimmering Flats in Thousand Needles. You can do this farm on either Horde or Alliance. The only requirement is being able to get yourself down to Gadget Zan and then heading north. The best thing about this place is that the monsters range from level 30 to 34 and there is a ton of monsters here to kill. There are basilisks, turtles, vultures, scorpions, and scarab, all here in massive numbers just waiting to be killed. Since these are all beast types, if you're a skinner, you can loot these for even more cash, and they have a very high chance of dropping a ton of gray items from their loot tables. You won't be getting as many greens here as you normally would, but that is easily made up for and then some by the full inventory of grays you will accumulate insanely fast. The 33 monsters here have a higher chance of drop the highest level dungeon gear, some of which can net you 40 to 50 gold per item depending on what you find. There's also a ton of ore on the outside of the edges, so if you're a miner you can pick up even more cash while farming here. One of the nicest things about this place is that there's a neutral vendor in the middle of the area, so you can easily dump an inventory of grays and random gear off to him, and then if you have a few nicer pieces you want to hang on to, you can run back down to Gadget Zan and put it in the bank. I've actually set my Hearthstone in Gadget Zan on a few of my characters, so I can just AFK farm, and when I really need to, I have quick access to the bank and a mailbox. Spot number 3, solo graveyard runs. If you're thinking to do this on your very first character, I would maybe hold off on it for now and farm some of the other places. Some of the monsters here can hit very hard, but if you're already level 30 and have at least a few pieces of good gear, you can solo this on almost every class. I personally do it with my Monk or Starcaller, but any class will do just fine. What's great about this place is that it's instant, meaning you have zero competition. Currently on the alpha, there is no 5 dungeon per hour lockout, which makes farming this area extremely easy. I'm not sure if this is actually a thing right now, but the rares in dungeons are fixed for at least 24 hours. So if you get lucky and find a rare whose gear sells for a good chunk of change, you can chain farm them and get loads of free gear, because rares on Conquest of Azeroth drop all of their items off their loot tables every time. Even if they don't sell for a lot, you can easily vendor them or disenchant the gear for a massive profit as well. The humanoids here drop silk by the boatload, so you can stock up on band-aids, vendor it, or look to sell it to the auction house. I've been able to net over 100 gold per hour here on my monks, sometimes pushing closer to 120 gold depending on the drops. Before closing out the video, there is one honorable mention I'd like to throw out there, and I'd probably get yelled at if I didn't by some of the people who know about this. If anyone has Horde characters, you have access to the Sword of Omen questline in Scarlet Monastery. This sword goes for an unreal amount of gold, usually averaging around 150, although I've seen some people pay up to 400 gold in one trade if you happen to have two of them. You have access to prestiging on the alpha, which resets all questlines for that character, allowing you to farm these swords endlessly if you're on the Horde side. If you're a great speed liver, you can easily level from 1 to 30 in under an hour and do the entire questline in about 30 minutes or so with a group. So what do you guys think? Do these areas sound interesting? Have you tried them already before? If you have any secret or OP gold grinding spots, leave them down in the comments of this video. If there is enough extra spots you guys have, I could make a part 2 of this video. And with that, this video is done. Subscribe below for more content. I will see you in the next one.